this made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
Fucking hit from the block, see them creeping through the floor. Since greetings, the feeding season can start. Oh my God, look alive, looking like I live life on a crooked line. Doing fine.
That
you
fire.
So I'm stupid, I am the guy.
Fuck the fire, fuck the fucking lie. We is fucking fire. On the hoes of hashtag. Life's a bitch, ain't no pussy fit. Ha 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 ha. Niggas wanna see me turn up on them, I mean? Like turn up crazy. Can't turn up crazy like that, you know what I mean? Well, maybe I could. You feeling good today? You feeling good? Feeling good enough to bring it back, you know what I mean? Here from the top. Yeah. That good vibes. That energy. You know the anthem. They go. They go. We go. Hey. Hey. Enough with it already. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop out the bed like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, what it do, people? Happy Thursday and all that. Weekend is almost here, so we made it. Yeah, kid. You now tuned in. POPAVIS TV. Real, raw, unscripted, authentic. That feeling on a Thursday. Yeah. That energy is always the win. If you're not bringing that energy to win, then something is wrong. Yeah, if you're not bringing the energy to win, then we can't relate. You know what I mean? Like, I got to have that feeling. I got to have that chicken dinner feeling, that hit bingo feeling, the lotto feeling, back-to-back triple ding-dings. Yeah, that feeling when they doubting you. Talk nice to me. If it's your first time, come on in. We appreciate you. Over here on this channel, we full transparency. That means I could see you and you definitely could see me. Sports, hip-hop, interviews, motivation, POPAVISMs 101. And we're going to get to a good POPAVISM in a minute. But if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with me, then you know how we do. Tony. There was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game. And I'll have a cheers to that. Let's get to it. POPAVIS. POPAVISM 101. Do it yourself. POPAVISM 101. Do it yourself. Nobody's coming to do it for you. You could pay somebody to do it for you, but ultimately, you should have the attitude of, I got to do it myself. Nobody's coming. Nobody's hearing the calls. There's really only one person hearing the calls, but you know what I mean? Nobody's coming. So you got to have that mindset of, I'm going to do it myself. And when you have that mindset, finally, when you do link up with somebody that see the vision, like-minded, want to put the work in, don't mind getting their hands dirty, then you get them championships. You know what I mean? Like, because Mike, for instance, let's keep it sports real quick. Great. Had that attitude. I got to do it myself. I'm going to drop 60, 70. Like, I'm going to kill zone. But didn't win ultimately. Till we got somebody else that was ready to kill. Like, you know what I mean? Kill zone. Got to do it myself. And dream work definitely makes the, teamwork definitely makes the dream work. Those are the facts. Like, no matter how people try to spin it and put their little sprinkles of, fairy dust or whatever they sprinkle it, you know what I mean? Sprinkle a little fairy dust, you know what I'm saying? Make this shit magic, tell anybody anything, all caps, you know what I mean? Shout outs to King Reggie, that's out now, you know what I mean? Nobody doing it by themselves, really. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. You have to have that attitude of, I'm going to do it by myself. But teamwork does make the dream work. So until you link up with those individuals, that one person, those two people that want to build, that's in the mind frame of building, then you got to have that mindset of you're going to do it by yourself. I mean, if you don't, and you got the mindset of, I'm going to think on it real hard, I'm going to hold back a little longer, I'm going to wait for something to fall out the sky, you know what I mean? Or however you think you're going to get it, besides going out there and getting your hands dirty. POPAVISM101, you got to do it yourself. You can't be afraid to get your hands dirty and doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have that mindset, then you have to do some self-evaluation. You have to see if it's been working for you thus far. If it is, then you probably, as what they call it, that shit, an outlier. You probably just an outlier. You know what I mean? And it might be a few. Because like I said, when you put everybody in categories of the Hunger Games, like, you know what I mean? There's categories for everybody. You know what I mean? Whether you want to, I'm unique and all that. Like, we all fall in a certain type of category or a certain type of individual. You know what I mean? You might be an introvert. You might be an outrovert. You know what I mean? Like, you may like speaking. You may not like speaking. So, different things like that. As far as you may be a tech person. You may not be a tech person. You may be an action person. You're not the only action person. You might be a relationships person. You know what I mean? You might be a stability person. And there's categories for all those things. But one thing in common is that no matter what you are, like how you identify yourself, or even as somebody from the outside identify you, like they have people that, study, characteristic traits and behaviors and, likes, don't likes. And, that's how they come up with all of these, the star system, the season system. If you ever heard of any of this, then you know. If you don't, then the STAR system is it's the acronym STARS, and it's TAR, and it's pretty much S is stability, T is technical, A is action, and R is relationships. Sometimes we are more than one of those things. You could be a techie person, you could be a T and an R, you could be a T and an S, you can be an S and an A, like, you know what I'm saying? So you're not just one thing, but I said all that to say that it is people who actually do studies on these things to give it some type of balance, or, a chart to look at, so you can, internalize and see if it applies or if it doesn't apply. But with that being said, no matter what you are, you still, in my opinion, have to have the attitude of, I'm going to do it myself. I got to do it myself. Nobody's coming to do it. I got to do it. If nobody cooks and you don't cook, then you don't eat. Right? Like, if it's no food on the table, then you can hunt for it, or you can wait for somebody to come and bring you a steak dinner. You know what I mean? With some Idaho potatoes, just sprinkle a little salt and pepper on that joint. You know what I mean? And winner, steak dinner. So, POPAVISM 101, you got to do it yourself, but also, Rome is not built overnight, and also it wasn't built by, one individual. Sometimes it does, oftentimes it does take teamwork, people on the team, and your job to doing it yourself is also to identify and find those people, if you can, to link with those people, and then go from there. You already know what it is. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's jump into some NBA real quick, baby, real quick. Let's get some NBA picks. You know what I mean? Right now, our record is 30 for 20. Out of 50 games, we 30 and 20. So we 10 games over 500. That's a great thing. If you betting $5, you know what I mean? That's $50. If you betting 10, that's 100, and so and so, so and so. So you up. You ain't losing. Tonight is only 5 games on the slate, but before we talk about the picks, let's get into is Utah Jazz the best team in the NBA? They got the best record, 20-5, and out of all those games they won, they only 20-5, and guess who's right behind them in the West? To be the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, and all of them. You know what I mean? And even though Anthony Davis is down for the foreseeable days, he gonna be back. He gonna be back strong for the Laker fans. You know what I mean? No worries. Without him, it's over. No championship. But as long as those two stay healthy, than LeBron, that is, and AD, then I don't really see too much resistance. It's gonna be a battle now that we're not in the bubble. But anyway, Utah's like I said, ever since, if you go see the other video I did, yeah, on Donovan Mitchell, like Spider is balling, all the way balling, and his team is balling as a unit. And whether they are peaking too early or not remains to be seen, because we still gonna judge them in the playoffs. Like right now, it's all good now. Like same thing when Harden was on Houston. It's like, yeah, we know they're gonna have a good season, MVP, he gonna ball, but in the playoffs, when it really matters, what you gonna do? Like we in the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? We in the playoffs. Go see the other video I did. Me and Gray. Shout outs to Great Fire. Shout outs to Bombs Beats. Bombs got beats. You know what I mean? And it's like in the playoffs, one is about matchups, obviously, and, you know, where your seeding is at and all that. And, you know, do you got the best talent? So right now they balling. There's games every day or every other day. You playing home, you not playing home. And ever since Shaq, like I said what he said, I didn't overreact to you know what I mean, to what he said. It was a lot of overreaction though. But with that being said, it's like, nah, Donovan, he proved last year to me that he's a baller. Like, even though they lost that series, he proved that he could do it on the big stage. And like he said, he's been proving that since high school. But we'll see in the playoffs. Do I think they're going to win the chip? At this moment, I don't think they're going to win the chip. I don't think they have enough. And that's probably what Shaq was saying. Like, you could be great, but just you and who else? They got a lot of pieces. And sometimes the overall team, you know, win. You see the Detroit. They always point to Detroit. You know what I mean? Pistons, that is, when they beat the Lakers. And they beat the Lakers 5-1, I think. They smacked them like, psh, psh. You know what I mean? Kobe was tight after that. And I think that's when Shaq left, too, after that. That was the end of their run, I believe. So it's like, they balling now, but I don't think they the best team. All right, let's get to Brooklyn. Kyrie, Harden, Kevin Durant is still sidelined. Brooklyn bounced back after they lost to Detroit. I had Brooklyn money line, and they lost to Detroit. So sometimes, like I said, the least talented team will win some games, and the most talented team will lose some games in a long, drawn-out season. That's why NFL is king. You know what I mean? One game out of here. But with that being said, it's like they got to work on the D. Once the D get good, or it's like if you can't shore up the defense, you just going to have to come out and outscore everybody. And in the playoffs, they probably can do that. You know what I mean? Maybe. Philly and Milwaukee will have some say about it. And I even think Miami will have some say about it, because they play as a unit as well. They gritty, they grimy. Speaking of Miami, they beat the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks, back-to-back 2 times. I got them losing tonight, though, to Houston. We get to the picks in a second. So it's like Phoenix is in the West. They pretty much got the same record as the Brooklyn Nets. Phoenix is a team to watch out for. Chris Paul bring that. Although he's not a champion with the bling blow, certain people are champions with in here, no matter whether they win or not, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I'm not the only one to feel that way, feel that way. They champions because they got the mindset of champions, and they dogs, they give it all. So he one of those players that come and he changed shit around for your team in a good way. So with Devin Booker, I just want to see more from, Aiden, and we'll see. But right now they playing well. They got one of the best records in the NBA, even though in the West, that's only good enough for 4. And I'm saying if they was in the East, they'll be where Brooklyn is at. Lastly, quick mock draft shit, you know what I mean, as far as the NFL. Why is Justin Fields falling down on these mock drafts? I mean, like, I'm not a college aficionado. If you fuck with the channel, then I'm not up in those college, streets and alleyways looking for the best. It's just to me, basketball, football, all the college, it's just too much. Like when March Madness and obviously the playoffs and big games, yes, as a sports fan, I tune in as a casual fan. But I'm not all up in those alleyways. I'm definitely not all up in those college streets. It's just too much to keep up with, to me. With that being said, who was in the playoffs? Oh, it was Justin Fields? Yeah, he was in the playoffs? Oh, okay. Just making sure. Because, Todd McShay And the other guy, Mel Kiper, why they keep pushing this brother down? I mean, like, I'm not understanding. Like, the people besides who's considered by almost everybody the number one. What's Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence, you know what I mean? Sunshine, you know what I mean? What's the Denzel movie? Remember the Titans and all that. He got that feel, that California surfer dude type vibe, you know what I mean? But still, like, let him through. Like, let him through? Yeah, let him through. Toss that nigga over his back. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looked like one of them type of dudes. But besides him coming out being number one, going to Jacksonville, you know what I mean? We all assume that that's a done deal. What's Zach something, Wilson, and all these other players skipping this man when he was in the playoffs 2 years back to back in the Heisman Trophy, runnings. It's like make you go, like, yeah, I hear that shit. But let's get to the picks. Just make you go, you know what I mean? Like I said, we 50 games in. We just starting to bet the games a little late because it's, it was football, which is king in my book. Football is king in my book. You know what I mean? 5 games on the slate tonight, so we're going to give all 5. Told y'all. I like Boston. I like Rockets. I like Indiana. Let me give y'all who they playing. I like Rockets over Miami. Rockets is +2. I like Celtics at home -2.5. I like Pacers on the road giving 4 to Detroit. Detroit just beat Brooklyn. Couldn't believe it. They spanked them even without Kevin Durant. It's like, really? And they spanked them. Like, they spanked Kyrie and them. Kyrie was tight behind that shit too. I like Steph Curry, but I'm not hype off of the back shot, looking like Mike and all that. I told y'all in the other NBA talk video that the Warriors would be a playoff team. There was no doubt in my mind. Like, all right, you got the 2-time MVP back-to-back. Yes, they lost Clay, but they still got Draymond. They still got Steve Kerr, coach. They got the Wiseman draft pick. They got they got Wiggins, and they got, which was a good pickup from Phoenix. Kelly Oubre, yeah. So they're gonna be all right. They're gonna make the playoffs out there in the West, and I had them 4-6. Steph Curry is definitely that dude, but I'm not hyped off that. I just like them. They -8.5, by the way. And the reason why I like them is, like, if they're going to win, then they're going to win. Out of their 13 games winning, they only won 3 of them by like 2 or 3 points. All the other 10 games, 9 points or better. So the spread is 8.5. I like I like the Warriors. Last game, Joel Embiid, Philly, Ben Simmons and them boys, Seth Curry, Doc Rivers. I told you I got them coming out the East. Yeah, I got them coming out the East in the beginning of this preseason, and even though I didn't know Harden was coming to New York, you know what I mean? And I'm happy he in New York. Finally got something good to talk about. But now you gotta like how I said, but now you gotta pay Jay-Z. Like, any problems, you could go to jail. Like, we want to see, you gotta win now. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll see. But I think Philly is probably the overall better team, even though they probably don't have the better talent. I know y'all think like, whoa, Kyrie. Yeah, I know. But I like Philly as of right now. And that's subject to change. But they playing Dame Lillard. They just played a couple days ago. Portland smacked Philly at Philly. Dame Lillard didn't play, but neither did Ben Simmons. Tonight the spread is 5.5. Philly last year was not a good road team. This year, still early. Most teams is 25 in. Lakers is 26 games in. Brooklyn, I think, is only 17 games. So we're still early. You know what I'm saying? It's still early. We're going to see how it pans out. But right now, I got Portland with that 5.5. So that's Portland, Warriors, Indiana, Houston, and Boston. Book it. $100 on the 5 pick. What's that? Yeah, that's $2,500. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. It's your boy POPAVISM. We rolling. Club going up on a Thursday. Inshallah, we'll be back tomorrow. The weekend is here. Yeah, kid.